Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 128. When we last left our heroes, the fight between Wise and Hermit and Müller was continuing, as Wise and Hermit dealt with the revelation that Müller was the one who turned Jean into a cyborg and robbed Clean of her emotions. Sister was able to use the conversation to go into Clean's head and maybe help her get past this trauma. Meanwhile, Müller activated the Doomsday system, starting the destruction of Foresta. So that's a thing. And then Müller very nearly got the better of Wise by destroying the Arsenal suit, and since Wise was still paralyzed, he would not have been able to move until Laguna showed up and carried Wise with his water to get Wise close to Müller and allow him to use Machina Maker to seemingly kill Müller. Maybe he's still alive. He's probably at the very least done by now, I think. So yeah, all that being said, let's jump right on into Chapter 128, What's Important. And our picture here is of Hermit in front of what looks like spotlights, I think, maybe like at an idol show or something. We see like silhouettes with the glow sticks. But anyway, we open with Rebecca and Homura and the little girl, presumably, on the motorcycle, while Shiki is with Xenolith behind them. I don't remember these two groups reuniting last chapter, but it might have happened. And so yeah, they're kind of continuing along as the pillars of the Doomsday system are up behind them. And Rebecca calls, "What is this? It's like the end of the world here." And Shiki catches up to them and asks, "Hey, who's the kid?" "A girl from the town." And Homura, I think that's Homura. For some reason, this page is really blurry. So I'm trying to make sense of it all. And Shiki, "What is that thing you carry?" This is and it's kind of rude, I will say, to refer to Xenolith as a thing when he's very clearly a bot. And given how pro-bot personhood the series is, it's a little weird for people to call Xenolith a thing. Anyway, Pino interrupts. "Wait, everyone, drones approaching, straight ahead." And Homura hands the girl off to Pino. "Take care of the girl." And the girl kind of squeaks, "Eep!" And we see the drones approaching as Homura readies her ether blade. "I shall cut them down." "You got it!" And she does. She just, like, with one slice, gets rid of all three of them. And then I'm trying to figure out, it looks like she kind of spins her blade or something. Oh, no, that's Rebecca revving the motorcycle. That makes much more sense. She revs the motorcycle, and the two of them hurry along, Shiki following after them. And then he also kind of, I guess there's even more, there are even more drones with Shiki. Sorry, for some reason, all this is just a little blurry. I can't figure out why. If it's something's wrong with Imgur, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Shiki kind of does this little dive, at, like kind of like a kick into some of the drones. "Take that!" And then he's just, like, bouncing from one to another, just blowing them all up. A bunch of them are shooting at the motorcycle. Rebecca looks back at them and kind of skids around to face them, and then just kicks them. Like, it doesn't even look like she's using her ether gear. She just kicks the drone, and it blows up. That's a queen. That's a queen right there. The little girl can just watch. Wow. Wow is right, little girl. Meanwhile, back at the satellite. "Hurry it up, Hermit. Things are not looking good on Foresta." That's Wise, I'm presuming. Again, it's blurry, and they are so tiny in that panel. Like, I'm talking like this big in that panel. And Hermit calls, "I know." And Hermit looks at all of the data coming in. And Hermit says, "That's Dr. Müller for you. I haven't dealt with security this tight in a long time. I might get a little overheated." So yeah, at this point, given just the general state everyone's in, it's very clear that Müller is, if not dead, at least definitively defeated. Oh, and Laguna comes in. As she talks about getting overheated. "If you need cooling, I got you covered." That's actually really nifty use of his water ability. I never even considered that before. Um, yeah, it just works. It's just a really nice concept of it. I never really considered. And Hermit and Wise just kind of pouts over there as both as from a fan perspective, both of his romance options are too busy having a moment with each other than with him. um, and then he finally snaps, "What about modifying the server? What's my job?" And Hermit responds, "Most of the modification we need is programming, so I have to do it. You couldn't hack it." And then Wise snaps at him. "Then why did you even bring me here?" Snaps at her, I mean. "Then why did you even bring me here? I told you, if I go berserk, I need someone to destroy me. And you're the only one who can do that." Right, with all the Müller drama, I had forgotten about that initial promise. That if she's infected by the virus, someone has to put her down. And then Wise kind of pouts, "What does that say about me?" "It says I trust you." Ugh. And then Wise just kind of pouts as Hermit continues, "Ugh, I just have to get through the security, but I can't break through this last encryption." And then we hear Müller, who's like lying on the ground. "Hermit." And Hermit seems surprised that he's still alive. As Laguna and Wise look back at him. "Please, I don't want to die." This look we get of him in the bottom left panel of this page. He distinctly does not look even vaguely human there. That might just be an effect. But honestly, he kind of reminds me of Franmouth from a fairy tale. Oh yeah, he's just a severed head right now. That was just some kind of silhouette effect. He has little arms coming out of his ears to help him crawl forward. "Help me, Hermit!" And Wise snaps, "You son of a!" And then Hermit holds him back. And Hermit leans over him. "How many people begged you for their lives?" "Okay." "No, this is different. You hurt Jean and Clean." "But I didn't kill them. I didn't. They're alive. You know that. I didn't kill them." Laguna, who was not there for this conversation earlier, is shocked. He's the one who? And then we come back to Clean's memories. As sister's in there with the digitized memories and all, and Clean is crying, "My brother, his arms, his legs, ah, 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 ah." And sister looks at her and then kind of turns away sadly and hugs her. Just a sign of like pure kindness. I don't know. I really like that panel. "That must have been really hard, Clean. I'll erase this terrible memory for you. Everything's okay now. Let's go home. Your brother is waiting." Clean continues to cry. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. Not just the hug. The hug is great. It's, just a kind of pure kindness that sister doesn't often engage in. But generally, I think a better route for Clean is for her to overcome her memory, to be able to live on while knowing what happened. This feels kind of like maybe not a cop out. I don't know. It's in the same vein of what Demon Slayer kept doing to Nezuko, and is one of the reasons I really fell off of Demon Slayer. How instead of actually having her deal with her problems herself, she's just like brainwashed to not eat humans or whatever. It's a similar thing here. It kind of robs Clean of the agency of moving of getting past her own past. And like sister can still play a part in that. We don't have to like get rid of sister for Clean to get past her past. Still sounds weird. On her own. I remember Sinon in SAO was able to really that storyline is able to really mix Sinone's own agency with the help she gets from Kirito. So this bit could be something like that, but instead, I just really don't like, Sister comes in and just erases all the bad parts. I don't know. I'm probably making a mountain out of a molehill again, but I don't know. It's just the kind of story beat that never really lands for me. But anyway, back in the real world, we see like a single tear form in each of Clean's eyes, and which notes that. And then we come back to the satellite, where Müller is still begging for Hermit's forgiveness. Spare me, Hermit. I'm a changed man. I know that machines have feelings now. That's why I went along with that Skullbot's plans. Then because he said last chapter machines don't have feelings, so get the fuck out of here. Humans are trash, aren't they? Well, so spare me. Help me. We see Bitte, which is German for please, off the side of the little speech bubble. On Hermit's size, you don't understand anything at all. With us, it's not about humans or bots or which one's better. And then Mueller's like realizing he's fucked up, tries to backtrack. I didn't mean, you're right. You're always right, Hermit. My darling little piece of my darling assistant. He's so bad at this. Even Wise is just, how can he? Save me, Hermit. Don't kill me. Think of our friendship. Please, please. And Hermit picks up Mueller's head. That is a good point. And Wise kind of calls out, hey, Hermit. Dr. Müller. Oh, she holds his head up to like eye level and scans him. Retina scan complete. Okay, that was the last encryption. I needed the doctor's eyes. She just completely uses him, which, to be fair, is kind of what he deserves. And then Müller kind of, happily, yes, good. I'm so glad I was able to be of service. Doctor, because of our friendship, I've got something to say. What? Oh, what? And then she, tosses him up in the air. I don't need you anymore. And then she just decks him. His eyes, boom. Never get near me again. Yeah! And he just, goes flying. Wise is just in shock at this, at Hermit's sudden turn of violence. And Laguna just says his tears are filthy. Is he gonna turn him into water? I don't think so. I think this is a full Hermit thing. I'm done being afraid of you, and I'll never trust a single word out of your mouth. But I am grateful for one thing. And we see an image of Rebecca's motorcycle and Shiki and their fight with the drones. Thanks to you, I realized I have what's really important. And she clicks what I'm assuming is the enter key on the keyboard. I have friends. Deleting the virus from all systems. And with that, the Doomsday system shuts down. The drones go back to normal. Now that the virus has been deleted. Same thing happens with the bots all over Foresta. And then we see, I think that's Shiki who lands on the ground. And Shiki notes, the robots, are they back to normal? And Rebecca thinks and looks at all of the bots that were lost, including Mimi, and the humans who died. And Rebecca looks over, but so many were lost. I only hope Foresta's bots and humans can manage to be friends again. And that's the end of the chapter. Okay. So let's start with that final line. I only hope Foresta's bots and humans can manage to be friends again. Because I think there's a really interesting... Because the thing is, that unlike bots, who might not even remember what happened, depending on how the virus messed with their brains, so to speak, unlike bots, the humans will very much know what happened. They will remember being treated like dogs and just like executed on sight for back talking. That's not the kind of wound that's going to heal easily. And this line here makes me think that maybe that's going to be something that the series explores at the end of Foresta. Now that the arc is pretty much done, beyond like an epilogue. The thing that worries me though is that this isn't the first time this series had a chance for a really complicated ending. You know, with the end of Sun Jewel, of the prisoners kind of coming back into society, and while earlier in the arc the rich people kind of celebrated their shunning, all of a sudden the rich people were just like, yeah, we're all friends now. And the series kind of never explored that, and I was really disappointed in the end of Sun Jewel. I remember that much. And so we'll see if Foresta follows a similar track of disappointment, or if this ends up being a lot messier of an ending than Sun Jewel was. Because I think, especially given that Rebecca calls this line into is the one who, given the fact that this is directly mentioned by the author, I hope it's not as simple as the ending of Sun Jewel. Honestly, I realize I don't know if anything I said in the last minute made any sense, but if it did, you see what I'm getting at. Anyway, beyond that, the chapter is pretty great. I'm honestly really happy about how Müller went. As the storyline was progressing, I was like getting ready another Sun Jewel comparison with how much I was uncomfortable with the end of Kurenai's fate, or with Kurenai's fate, not the end of, and how it's this kind of obsession with revenge that I'm not really on board with all the time. But that would have been a problem if she had like murdered Müller, which, to be fair, he would probably deserve in the end, given everything he's done. But there's something just much more satisfying about a good, clean hit. Like, it's just, yeah, that's it. We're done with him. He's not even worth it at this point. He's a washed up head. What the fuck is he gonna do now? And honestly, I hope Müller is done for now. I've had enough of his kowtowing, of his endless trying, like he's just so grovelly in this last scene. And like, Müller was an incredibly one-dimensional character in his first appearance, and he's not much better here. But he is delightfully punchable, and I'm glad that he is punched. And then I already went into great detail about my discomfort with the memory erasing scene, so I'm not going to reiterate that again. But yeah, it's a good chapter. It wraps up really everything in Foresta. And all that's left is just kind of, some last epilogue things. Maybe this little girl will join the gang. Given her like very sudden appearance, and then like it was like last chapter, the chapter before, and like this series, now the arc is gonna be over, and are we just gonna leave her here? I don't know. I do not know. So I can see her kind of being a member of the crew. I don't know. But yeah, then we get Müller wrapped up. I'm hoping, going back to this clean scene real quick, I'm hoping this is not the end of this storyline. That eventually Clean herself has to deal with these memories herself and move beyond them, rather than just, burying them. But again, that also remains to be seen. Who knows where this is going from there. And then, yeah, the virus is clear, but who knows if Foresta will ever be back to normal. We'll have to wait and see next time to find out. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, Or remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!